All right, friends. Today we're going to look for the energy is 20 that we're going to be dealing with today, and that is the Judgment card in Tarot. All right, it also reduces down to a 2, which is the High Priestess, but I don't want to look at that. I want to look at the Judgment card because what this is telling us is that if we don't awaken to our calling, to our higher level, then we're never going to. We're going to end up laying in the grave, dying because of our egos keeping us held back. So when you have death of the ego, and you hear that call, you now can arise to greater things. And so we're going to go through the deck here and just find that Judgment card, and whatever is behind it is really what's holding us back, and whatever is in front of it is how we really embrace that call to jump forward into our next path in life, right? So let's find the Judgment card here. I'm just going to shuffle this a couple times just to mix it up a bit and see where we're at with this thing. So I'm using the Unveiled Tarot deck here, and we're looking for the Judgment card. And if you're interested in a little tutorial on what I'm doing here, let me know. I'll write one up, put it on wordswithatwist.com, and it'll be there for you to check out and view. Maybe I'll even do a worksheet or two. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. So I'll look for this card. All right, so here's the Judgment. Well, okay, so interesting. Card in front and the card in back, right? So the reason why I think that sometimes we don't hear our call or rise to it is because we're trying to balance things too much rather than let go and kind of just embrace things a little bit more. We try to hold ourselves back, and it forces us into a position to not allow our full creativity to thrive because we're tempering it, we're balancing it, we're not letting that passion just run free. And when you do that, that will also hold back the call because sometimes you're afraid just to go for it and to awaken and let the ego just die, right? To become something new, to be transformed. And if you can remember that and you can stop always trying to do things proper or in the right way all the time, rather than just taking a little bit of a risk. We're not talking about a foolish risk. We're talking about temperance, right? Breaking that perfect stability that we think we have. And instead, embrace the fact that once we awaken the call, and it's funny that 21 comes up next, that we have the world, that when we awaken the call, that we know that we can embrace our next path because we've completed everything we needed to. We've learned every lesson of every card that has been shown to us through the major arcana. So we go from letting go of the balance and temperance or the perfection, right? This is more of the shadow side of it, to accepting what the world has to offer. And that's the thing too. Sometimes it's fear that holds us back. So when we're afraid, we don't want to hear the call of the trumpet, right? We want to say, no, I want to stay in my grave because I'm afraid of facing the unknown. But the thing is, though, with this world card sitting right here, is telling you that it's okay because you already know what you need to do. You learned everything. You mastered everything prior to this. So every card from the full up to the world card, we mastered it. That's why we're here at the world. And it's time to awaken because now we can step into the next level of life and really embrace the things that we love and want to do. And that's why we're seeing here the 21, which is a 3. And the 3 also maps to what? The Empress, right? The Empress card. And the Empress is all about what? Growth, fertility, harmony, right? Abundance. And what's really interesting too about this pool today, and the way the cards just came up, they're all major cards, every one of them, which means that this is something heavy on your soul that you need to address and realize that if you don't awaken, then you're not going to be able to move forward. You're going to be stuck and trapped because you're trying to control everything a little bit too much. Now, what I want to do also is grab my dice and just see what the numerology says around it. And we have a 4. That's interesting. So it's all around stability. By following the advice of the cards, then we would have stability. And how does it come? Because by accepting the possibilities or the new beginnings, by dying to self, so we can awaken to the call, right? So we're not afraid anymore. That opens up the doors and allows our 3 creativity to grow, because 3 is growth, is communication, and it's also creativity. It allows it to grow. And that's going to bring you the 4 of stability. Now, I haven't done this in a while, just for the heck of it. I'm going to pull an Oracle card just to get a message to wrap this thing up here. And the Oracle deck I'm using is called The Universe Has Your Back. And I actually love this deck because it's always like a nice vibe to wrap up a reading on, okay? So what we got going on here? We have, I'm not pulling the top either. I'm going to pull from the middle, right about there. That card feels right. Okay, what we got going on here, friends? It says in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. Did you just see what happened here? We randomly pulled cards, right? We took the number from numerology that gave us Judgment. That showed us Temperance, and it showed us the world. And here's saying that the universe is also guiding you. It's telling you this is the right thing. This now's the time to awaken to the call. I always tell people, let the dead bury the dead, right? You're alive. Live. And the universe is bringing you towards having the right mind and the right thinking out of love. And when you do things out of love, what happens then? Everything turns out absolutely brilliant. So that's the reading I got for you today on the energy for today. And if you enjoyed this, you want a book of reading with me, I have one called the First Look reading. It's free or paid. It's your choice. But it's an energy reading, come with a specific question. And if you can't afford to pay for it, I'll do it for free. I have a few open slots for free. And let me know your thoughts on this. And until next time, I want to see you on my next reading. All right. Bye, everybody.